Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, from wherever you're tuning in. Today, we are here to witness NiFi automation in action like never before. In today's session, we are showcasing our product, DFM, powered by Agentic AI. To set the context and expectations for today's webinar, we'll begin with a very short video. This is a 40-second teaser that shows what Agentic AI looks like inside DFM. Prompt based execution, intelligent actions, and real automation. Let's have a look.
What if managing Apache NiFi felt effortless? Meet DFM 2.0, NiFi operations now powered by Agentic AI. With a single click, the DFM agent comes alive, ready to manage your entire NiFi environment. It instantly scans your system and connects you to the cluster intelligently. DFM 2.0 understands what's already running. Process groups, data flows, everything is visible, contextual, and controlled. Need to deploy a process group? Just ask. DFM 2.0 execute everything accurately, securely, and in seconds. No manual navigation, no guesswork. DFM 2.0. Less clicks, less risk, more control. Apache NiFi Ops automation done right with Agentic AI.
So that was a small window into today's session. Today's webinar is completely focused on how Agentic AI enhances NiFi Ops. In this session, we will practically demonstrate 5 things using Agentic AI. 1. Flow deployment. 2. Flow sanity and validation. 3. Controller services and configuration. 4. Monitoring. And last but not the least, 5. Flow creation. The goal is simple to show how Agentic AI can dramatically improve Apache NiFi Ops efficiency, reduce manual effort, and reduce operational costs. One important thing I want to clarify: DFM with Agentic AI is built for organizations that want to use AI in their businesses. At the same time, our core product, DFM, can also be used without AI if required. So you are always in control. With that, I'll now hand it over to Manish Gunani, our CTO, who will walk you through live demonstration of DFM with Agentic AI in action. Over to you, Manish.
Thank you, Kirti. And again, a warm welcome to everyone on this webinar. I appreciate your time and your patience to join us for this demo. Before I begin, there are certain points that I'd like to add. First, whatever I'm going to demo today, the DFM and the agent, you will not find that capabilities outside in any other tool. So in the big data world from where NiFi belongs, DFM is the only tool which has all these features and these enriched capabilities. No other platform out there has these features. Okay. Second, DFM will work with your existing data cluster, with your existing NiFi clusters and your data flows as it is. Be there open source NiFi or be there any enterprise NiFi, you don't need to worry about that. DFM works with all of them. You do not need to do any changes to any of your clusters or to any of your data flows. All right. With that said, let me quickly share my screen and all right. So this is the DFM portal. Okay. There are certain steps that need to set it up. For example, you need to onboard your clusters. You need to set up your secure and access roles. All of that I have done because we do not have enough time to show you all of that in this demo. But those are the prerequisites which need to be done, and those are like very simple. But that I have already done those in the background. Okay. So over here you can see there are 2 clusters to which I have access, and I will be using these clusters for the demonstration today. So I'll start with some simple steps first. So we have our agent. We have named our agent as Knowe, and the agent can be launched by clicking on this icon over here. So I click on this icon, and the agent is launched, and it is available to take my commands. First, let's start with, let's say I need to log in into a cluster. So I'll ask Knowe to log into my UAT cluster. The agent is intelligent enough. It understands that, and it asks me for a reconfirmation. And then it will allow me with the prompt to log in. Okay, so it has given me that. And you can see the cluster is also pre-filled. Okay, as submitted. And I'm logged into my UAT cluster. All right. Cool. Next, let's say I start with first feature, flow deployments. Typically, when you would be doing a data flow deployment, you would be logging into your NiFi UI, pulling that flow from registry, making some changes to that, and then deploying that into your NiFi cluster. Okay. This you will have to do across all of your NiFi clusters, maybe for dev, maybe for QA, maybe for prod. For all of that time, you will have to log into those different NiFi UIs. So you are skipping across different NiFi UIs. Okay. With DFM and with the agent Knowe, we can do all of that just within the DFM portal. I need not go anywhere outside of this. Okay. Let's see how do I do that now. So I'll request Knowe to do a data flow deployment on my behalf. So I am asking Knowe to deploy a data flow from registry, and no, let's see. Knowe is intelligent enough to identify the flow. It will pull it from registry. It will also be able to check if there are multiple versions of that flow, and then based on that, I can also tell it which version to deploy. So I ask to deploy version 2. Once Knowe has all this information, it will do the deployment autonomously. I need not be involved any further. And we will see that within few seconds, this flow will be deployed and available in my UAT cluster. What would otherwise have taken me, let's say, maybe couple of hours, I can do now within a minute. Okay, and the flow is now deployed, and we can see this flow is now available, in my process groups. Great. So that was the first feature, centralized flow deployments using DFM agent Knowe. Let's move to the next feature now, flow sanity. So what is flow sanity first? Typically, when let's say you are doing a data flow deployment, there are chances that you might have missed some configuration. For example, maybe you missed to update your database credentials. Okay. Maybe you missed to open a firewall port. Maybe you have some other configuration which is incorrect in that, right? What happens in that case is the flow gets deployed, but there are certain errors which start popping up in the logs. And then some DevOps team or maybe some NiFi Ops team get involved. They will debug that issue. They will triage it. They will identify the fix. They will do that in the NiFi UI and then do a redeployment. This whole process can take a couple of hours. With Knowe, the intelligent solution for DFM, we will be able to identify such issues at the time of deployment itself. So imagine if you are able to fix that issue at the time of deployment, you save the time, the amount of time that you save. All right. So this time I'll again ask Knowe to do a deployment, but this time I'll also ask it to do a sanity check. Knowe will execute this deployment as it did earlier, but this time it will perform a sanity check. In this case, what I have done is I have deliberately kept an incorrect parameter into this. So this is for a file transfer flow where it will look for a directory to pick up the files from. I have deliberately kept an incorrect directory path over there. That directory does not exist. Like I said, this issue would not have been identified in normal deployment during deployment, and the errors would have come up in the logs. Teams get involved, they try it, and then they fix it. Couple of hours gone. Knowe will help me identify that issue at the time of deployment itself. Not only that, it will tell me exactly what the error is. Okay, and here is it. So it has identified, that there is an incorrect directory path. This directory does not exist. I will now be able to fix this issue also using DFM only. I did not go out anywhere else. Okay, let's see how I fix this issue. So I go to that process. Okay, I go to the process details view. Over here, I have sanity verification report. In this view, I can see all the errors which Knowe had identified. Had there been more than one, those will also have to be listed over here. And it tells me exactly what is the error. Okay. To fix this issue, again, I need not go anywhere else. I'll just go to parameter context. Over there, I'll just go and I have to just update this, the incorrect path. I can do that by editing this, and I can fix it and I can save it. My error will be resolved within a minute using DFM itself. I need not go anywhere else. Imagine, like I said, the time and the capability that Flow Sanity can provide to a NiFi ops person. All right. I talked about Flow Sanity, right? Let's now talk about another very useful feature for a NiFi ops person, control service management. Almost all of the data flows would be relying on a control service in one way or the other. How you would be doing that? You would be again configuring controller services in your NiFi UI. Maybe you would be doing that again in all of your clusters, dev, QA, prod, everywhere. You again have to log into those NiFi UI and do that configuration. Maybe sometimes you may need to take actions on the control service, enabling them, disabling them, whatever, right? But it requires NiFi UI login, and you have to again jump across all of that for all clusters. Let's see how I can do that with Knowe. So let's start with, I want to see which control services are available in my cluster. So I give it the command list all controller services. Okay. So it will go and fetch all the controllers which are available within my UD cluster. And there are 3 which are there, I can see. And it has fetched me details, what is their status, and their version, everything is there. All right. Let's now take another action on this. Let's say, so this first service is right now in a disabled state. I would like to enable this. Okay. All right. So I ask the agent to enable this controller service. Okay. Again, I am doing everything in the context of Knowe. I'm not going out anywhere to any other UI, nothing. And you can see the service is now enabled, and we can see it in our portal also. This controller service is now enabled. Okay. Again, like I said, I could do this for any other cluster, any other environment. I just log into that cluster in Knowe, and I can request that action that I need to do, and Knowe will do it on my behalf. I'm not going out of DFM or Knowe to any other place. Perfect. Cool. So let's now look at another feature very useful for NiFi Ops, the monitoring. Okay. So we have a monitoring dashboard inbuilt into DFM. Though we have this, it captures essential NiFi related cluster related metrics. I would like Knowe to help me with that. Okay. So let's say I want to identify, how is my cluster status. Okay. So I'll ask Knowe to get my cluster status. There are many more, command, many more prompts that I can use, but I'm using only the most, I would say the most used ones by an NiFi ops person. Over there, it has shown me, it has the node count, node IP, and everything. All right. Let's go a bit deeper. Let's say I want to now find out my, let's say, CPU, RAM, and those diagnostics. Okay. So I'll again, give a detailed prompt to get me my CPU and memory details. Okay. Let's see. There it is. It has brought all the detailed information for memory, heap usage, right? For processor, for how much my storage is being used, right? It has. I did not again need to go into any NiFi UI, any other system, any other application. I did not need to go to my promises graph and anywhere else. Everything within the Knowe context itself. Okay, great. So far, I talked about 4 features: flow deployment, flow sanity, control service management, and monitoring. But these were all related to per se NiFi ops capabilities. But Knowe has much more to offer. It can also generate data flows from scratch. So it can help me in my NiFi flow development also. Let me show you how. So I need to generate a new data flow, let's say. And that data flow, I would like to read from a, let's say, source directory do some transformations, and then save the output into a output directory. Okay. Uh, I would also, let's say, like for the transformation, I would also like to request to use and generate some Groovy script. So I have given that requirement to the agent as a prompt. Okay. And let's see what it does. Agent is well trained on all of NiFi processors. The prompt that we are giving it, it is enriched internally so that the flow that gets generated as a result is almost ready to be deployed. That is the power that Knowe brings. Let's see. There it is. It has generated a complete flow from scratch. Imagine the time that it would have saved for a developer. It has given me all the overview, all the details of that flow also. I requested it for a Groovy script. It has done that also. Within that, I requested for some transformation. It has generated that also. It has done everything. Okay. Let's go and validate this flow also onto NiFi UI just for reference. So let me share my NiFi UI also. I hope my NiFi UI is visible. My NiFi UI is visible now. All right. So here the process that has been generated and it is now available in my NiFi UI. It has got 3 steps. Great. Let's look into that Groovy step. So I asked it to generate me a Groovy script. There it is. It has generated that Groovy script also, like I said. Perfect. So using Knowe, I was able to generate a new flow from scratch also. That is the power that Knowe brings to the table. Like I said, no other tool out there has these capabilities. In the NiFi world, in the big data world, DFM with Knowe agent is the only tool which has all these features. All right. So I think I'll take a pause now. I'll pass it back to my team. Uh, Over to you guys.
Thanks, Manish. Thanks for the insightful session. Before we close, I want to share our vision. Our goal and our dream is to completely automate Apache NiFi. NiFi is extremely powerful, but also very complex. Because it is open source, organizations often rely on heavy manual work and large teams. Enterprises want simplicity, and that's why we built DFM. A few important points. With DFM, there is no vendor login. You can cancel anytime. Even after cancellation, your existing systems continue to work without any changes downtime. You can even run DFM in parallel with your existing setup. You are always in control. And yes, there's more surprise on the cards. Soon we'll be launching our own ETL studio and end-to-end ETL ecosystem. A future where you think about a data problem and the agent executes it. So we'll close the session. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you liked a deeper demo or want to explore DFM further, please reach out to us. We'll also be sharing details of upcoming sessions very soon. Thank you and have a great rest of the day. This is DFM team signing off.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.